This video is for the people who maybe don't feel, very productive, or they feel a little lazy sometimes. And I just want to kind of share with you guys some thoughts. Right now we are in quarantine, everyone is at home, and you are probably sitting on a lot of time in front of you. And so the first question that I have for you guys is, well, what are you doing with your time? So most people right now are kind of wasting their time either by watching a lot of videos or watching Netflix or not doing much or just, relaxing and things like that. And of course, there's nothing wrong with doing these things, but that is for me if you are already successful in whatever that you want to do. So this channel on YouTube is mostly for entrepreneurs and traders. So I would guess that most of you guys have big goals that you eventually want to achieve in your life, all right? And so if you are a person like that who has a lot of goals, dreams and aspirations, you cannot sit on your ass all day and do nothing and just think that it will happen because you think positively, right? Because you believe in yourself. No, it doesn't work like that, guys. At some point, if you want to get results, you will need to get serious about it and you will need to do what is necessary to get there, okay? And so that's really important. A lot of you guys, I believe, are not working as hard as you could be working. And so that is even more true if you are just at the beginning of your journey, okay? So for example, when I started out trading in my business a couple of years ago, I was working non-stop. Literally non-stop. For the people who know me personally, for the people who I went to school with, they know this. I've never stopped, not a single second. Even between classes I was working, during dinner I was working, after that when I came back home after school I was working. I was always super focused for the first couple of years into this journey. And the reason why is because I understood how much work I needed to put in to eventually get the results. And so the problem is that right now, when I'm making videos, a lot of you guys are seeing the results, right? So you see the setup, you see the good trades, you see the freedom, you see my life right now, but you don't see, what came before that. You don't see all the hours that I put in before this happened, You don't see all the nights that I spent, not sleeping much, or you don't see all the dinners, that instead of being with my friends, I was alone in the library studying the markets. You guys don't see that, you don't see this part. And this is the most important part, all right? And I want to remind you guys that if you want to be successful, you need to go through this phase where you might be misunderstood, you might be judged, you might be laughed at, but it doesn't matter, you just need to focus on your goals and know where you're going. And so that's really important. And right now, the reason why I'm making this video right now is because we are in quarantine, as I said. And a lot of you guys have a lot of time. So please don't waste it. Like this quarantine right now, I would have dreamed to have something like this when I was starting my journey. Now, of course, not the situation and not the virus and the crisis and all of that, right? Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But I would have dreamed to have so much time on my hand where I could just study a lot more the market and just, go faster to my goals. Okay, but it was not like that, As I said, I had to balance between school, business, trading, personal life, and there was a lot of things to manage, especially for the age that I was, I was only like 15 when I started to learn how to trade, and then 15, 16, 17, 18, and today 19, right? So I've been through this journey for quite some time, and so I know what it takes to reach success, For a couple of years, as I said, I've worked probably like 18 hours a day, and I'm not even exaggerating. I was going to sleep between 10 and 11. I was waking up around 5, 6, right? So basically 6, 7 hours of sleep per night, maybe 8 if I was a little lucky, or 7, whatever, it doesn't matter. But then throughout the whole day, I was just working, while I was eating breakfast, I was watching or reading something. While I was on my way to school, right, in the car, I was also working. Before the class, during the class, in the middle of the class, during dinner, when I came back home, I was always super focused because I loved the journey and I knew that I had to go through this period to eventually get to where I am today. And so, do you really think that I would be a full-time trader today if I didn't make those sacrifices before? Probably not, right? So I think about all the parties that I've missed, or all the birthdays that I missed, or all, you know, the fun time or the relaxing times that I've missed in the last couple of years. But do I regret it? No, I really don't. And I'm really grateful to have made those sacrifices, because today, while everyone, you know, is kind of freaking out because of the situation, they are worried about their job, they are worried about their investment. Well, I'm not. Because I'm a full-time trader, I know how to manage this situation. I know how to profit from this situation. I already work from home, and I'm already stable in a good financial situation. So all those years that I've worked fucking hard has saved me a tremendous amount of stress right now that most people go through, right? And I'm not saying this to sound cool. I'm not saying this to sound like a genius or whatever, but that's just the truth. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys today is because I want you guys to be motivated and to finally go after what you want. Okay, as I said, we have a lot of time in quarantine right now, so don't waste this precious time. Go ahead, you know, take the first step toward your goals, whether it's, you know, buying a book or starting to watch videos or just going on the chart, opening a demo account, like whatever it is, or starting a business. It doesn't matter what it is. Just actually start to do it, you know. That's really the message of this video. And so all the sacrifices, all the hours that you will put in, it's so much worth it, you know, because you need to be willing to live a couple of years like most people will not do in order to live the rest of your life like most people can't. Okay, so in the last few years, as I said, I've done what most people did not want to do, right? All, as I said, the thing that I've missed and the sacrifice that I've made, none of my friends wanted to do these sacrifices with me. I was alone in this journey, right? But now today, I'm starting to enjoy and be able to live a life that most people cannot even think is possible. So if you think that you can't, or if you think that you can't, okay, both are true. If you believe that it's possible to achieve your goal, you will eventually achieve your goals. If you don't even believe that you can do it, of course you will not do it, you know? And one thing I really want you guys to understand is that there is no alternative to being successful, right? Or what's the alternative, if there's one, right? If you're not successful in the next couple of years, if you don't become a successful trader, if you don't start a successful business, what are you going to do, right? Go back to your job, right? Miss out on your dreams, right? Just live an average life, work for 50 years, and hopefully retire with some money, right? Is that really what you want, right? Is that the life that you think you deserve? Ask yourself those questions, you know? Like, I've asked myself those questions for the last couple of years, every day, on a day-to-day basis, right? If I don't succeed, what's the alternative, right? Going back to school, getting a job, right? Boring life. No, I don't want to do this. I definitely don't want to live this life. So that's why I'm still working today. That's why I'm still focused on the journey. That's why I'm still trying to get better as a trader, even if I'm already good, even if I'm already making a lot of money, right? Same thing in business, same thing for everything, you know? I'm still reading a lot of books. I'm still watching a lot of videos. I'm still studying the market. It's still the same just journey that goes on and on and on, because I don't want to have a boring average lifestyle. That's what I fear the most, okay? Like, we have one life to live, one single life to live as far as we know. So our time here is pretty limited on Earth, which means that you probably want to squeeze the most out of it, right? You want to get the most out of the time that you have here on Earth, which means that you need to go for what you truly want and live the life that you would like to live, right? Whether it's to travel or to be free or to have nice things or, you know, have a family, like whatever is your dream life that you have right here, you need to put in the work to eventually get there, okay? Because as I said, what's the alternative, right? Miss out on this dream life that you could achieve and not live your dreams, right? And when you're about to die, you think about the life that you lived and you're not really happy with it, you have regrets. Is that really what you want? Because that's the alternative, right? If you don't become successful, that's what will happen. Are you really willing to live this, right? Are you really willing to accept that? Well, I don't think that it's the situation, right? And so what's harder, okay? Tell me guys, what's harder? working right now or regretting for the rest of your life, right? What's harder, putting in a little more hours today and being a little more focused, or missing out on all the amazing things that you could experience, right? What's really harder here, okay? So you see, when you have the right perspective on life and on what you could achieve, everything becomes a lot more clear. So most people, they value their, present pleasure a lot more than what they could eventually achieve in the future. And that's a big problem, I think. And that is one of the main reasons why most people are not really happy with their life, and why a lot of people have regrets, is because they value a lot more the present moment than the future, okay? And of course, it's important to live in the moment and be present and all of that, right? So let me not get into this thing, because that's another conversation, but of course it's important. But at the same time, you need to keep your head toward what is coming eventually in your life, because that is much better, right? So most people will value more right now, or relaxing, right? Or watching a series, right? Or, having fun, or playing video games and things like that, right? They value this a lot more than their future. So let me ask you guys, is it your situation? Is it the case for you, right? Do you prefer to just watch a Netflix series now, but not live a great life for the next 60, 70, 80 years? Is that really what you would like, or the opposite, right? So I think that when you have a good perspective, as I said, on life and on what is really risky, then everything becomes easier. To give you guys another example, right? That's one of the most common things that I hear, but a lot of people tell me, oh, Anthony, it's risky to trade, right? Or it's risky to start a business. Well, a lot of people are starting to change their beliefs right now because of the current situation, where we see 30 million people in 6 weeks losing their job in the United States, right? A lot of people are starting to understand a little more the world that we live in, right? So is it really risky to trade? Is it really risky to start a business? Or is it risky to rely on a job that you have no control on? Because if you lose this job, you lose your income. And what happens when you lose your income? You're not even in a very good situation, right? So what is really risky, right? Or if we want to compare it with something else, what is more risky? Is it more risky to start to trade? Or the biggest risk might actually be to take no risk, right? Because if you don't take any risk, well, you will probably not become successful. And so is this more risky? Well, to me, yes, right? Not becoming successful is the biggest risk in reality. So maybe that you should consider taking some minor risk at the beginning of your life, so that you become successful later, and that you don't have to encounter all the biggest risks that most people go through, right? Like if you look at, most places in the world, people who are old or people who are sick, sometimes they cannot even have the treatment for them. Sometimes they cannot even survive, That's very shocking to me. And so maybe that if you sacrifice a little bit, the pleasure and the fun, and if you stay a little more focused, and if you enjoy the journey, maybe that you will get to a better place in the future, not only for you, but also for your family, for your friends, for helping other people as well, That's the beauty of being successful, making money, and having a lot of time, is that you can give this time to others to try to benefit the life of other people and have a big impact on the world. That's pretty nice, right? It's a lot nicer than just watching a series on Netflix, right? So I hope that, this video kind of open your eyes and kind of gives you a better perspective. At least that is my perspective on life and what I think and what is going through my mind. So I just wanted to share this, little piece of myself with you guys in this video. Hopefully that it helps some of you guys, I don't have the absolute truth. I'm not a genius. I'm not a god. Some people have different opinions than I do. Some people have different perspective than I do, and that's completely fine. But as I said, I just wanted to share with you guys my own perspective, and well, hopefully that it gave you some thing to think about and to work toward. All right, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, and yeah, just get to work.